This video was sponsored by Sega! Oh boy. How fast was that? Yeah. That was pretty good. That was pretty good, right? Hey everybody. How's it going? Whew. Okay. Me? Nah, I may be the spitting image of Sonic the Hedgehog, and at least 60 to 70% is fast, but I'm actually an original character. I am Sponic the Hedgehog. Okay, technically not an original character. I'm actually an obscure character from the comics, so I won't fault you for not remembering. But basically, Sponic is the guy Sega calls for sponsorships. You know, they need someone to play and talk about a game. I'm there in a flash. Slightly longer than a flash. And what's that? Sonic Superstars is available now on Nintendo Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. More info by clicking the link in the description. Well, I think that means it's time for Sponic the Hedgehog to do what he does best. Okay. First off, let's talk about the game's presentation. Sonic 2 was the very first video game I ever owned, so naturally I'm a sucker for the classic Sonic style. And it's not even just about the games at the time, it's about the entirety of Sonic at that time in the 90s. The games, the shows, the toys, the comics. And Superstars captures that entire style perfectly. The character designs and animations in particular are simply perfect. These to me feel like the best possible versions of these characters. You know, it's the old school style, but modernized and slick. The proportions are perfect. They're just the perfect mix of like cute and cool. Every action looks good, and I really just love how their legs look when they run. I don't know what it is about that. It's just perfect to me. And then of course you've got the cutscenes emulating that older kind of 90s style of animation. And it's perfectly authentic as always. I mean, Sega has been spoiling us with all of these like just fun little classic style animations recently in the last few years. And these ones, you know, they're as fun as you could possibly want. I love them. The fact that this game has no dialogue, it's super charming. It's such a throwback. I really like that they brought back Fang. I wasn't really familiar with the character before this game, but something about him I just think is really cool. It's just like the perfect Sonic-y character. He's his own animal, he's got a cool hat. I don't know, I just like him. And between the characters and the designs and the cutscenes and all that stuff, it just perfectly captures what it was like to love Sonic in the 90s, you know? And Mania did that too, and I really, really loved Mania. Who did not love Mania? But it's fun to see them accomplish that with 2.5D graphics. I love the pixel graphics, but then this is kind of its own thing. It gets to be just that extra bit more modern while still feeling classic, you know? And while we're talking about the visuals, there's a lot of fun visual spectacle here. The environments are super vibrant, very colorful. There's a lot of fun stuff going on in the background, you know, just visual elements. You'll see other characters doing stuff back there. There's all these like scripted sequences that are very fun. Largely though, I really just love the atmosphere. One of the things that I loved so much about classic Sonic was just the feel of the levels. Like these places, they never felt generic. You know, there's always some kind of strange, fantastical element, and I feel like Superstars nails that as well. You know, it's always a joy to plunge into each new place and just see what you'll find. You know, you've got this deep jungle filled with vines, but then there's also junk everywhere and all this factory stuff. You got this cool epic sky temple that's got like a stormy section where stuff is blowing around. There's just always something fun to see. Every zone and every act, they're just all very unique. And I really like the level design as well. You know, every single level introduces some fun new mechanics. The levels feel They feel perfectly paced, they never overstay their welcome. And like, sure, sometimes it is a little bit of a bummer when like a really cool theme and really cool mechanics are behind you so quickly, you know, but like this is the usual Sonic format. Zones usually have 2 acts each, sometimes just the one, but at the same time, it really makes you value what you've got. It makes the pacing really good, really snappy, and it's also good that the game is just so eager to constantly move on to new areas and themes. It means the experience is just absolutely never stale. It's very, very lively. Bonus stages also obviously help a lot in this regard. The game is not shy about just whisking you off to some other place to do something different. You know, you've got the basic bonus stage whenever you go through a checkpoint with 50 rings. Here you're bouncing around in these like weird floating 2D block stages. You're trying to get medals, and these are really like, this is really like a game within a game. There are so many of these levels, you can do them again and again, and even these, like, they will evolve as you go and introduce new mechanics. It's pretty great. Then you got these other levels where you kind of like fly around in 3D, kind of using like a hookshot sort of thing where you're launching yourself forward to try to catch a Chaos Emerald or some medals. And at first it seems ridiculously easy, but then it gets like really weirdly, surprisingly hard, but really fun. And then you also just have these like random little things where you just like warp to a place and you get some rings and then you warp back and you keep on going. It seems like there's always something to do. There's always some kind of portal or special stage to go into, and it's really fun. It just really helps keep things fresh. Then you've also got these like special scenario stages for individual characters, and then you collect these special fruit and you use those to unlock these special bonus stages where you're like trying to keep ahead of a laser and you're trying to collect as much stuff as you can before you get to the goal. There's just a ton of stuff to do. Oh, and the bosses are good too. I can't forget about the bosses. There's a load of them. There's basically a boss at the end of like every level. They've all got these fun little intro animations. They're such like classic Eggman designs. They're fun to fight. There's a lot of variety. I really enjoy the bosses in this game. So of course, if you add everything together, the levels and all the bonus stuff and the bosses, these levels are very, very replayable. But then of course, even on top of all that, they are just designed to be very replayable in that Sonic-y kind of way. They're super densely packed with splitting paths and secrets all over the place. You know, you're constantly leaving paths behind and being like, it's all right, I'll get it next time. And then all of the different characters naturally play into this as well. You know, you can freely play any stage as any of the 4 characters, and each one has their own abilities and is going to help you access different stuff. I always played as Knuckles in the originals, so I was very, very pleased to have him available here. Knux is my boy. And then offering even more help every time you get a Chaos Emerald that unlocks a new ability. And you can use these abilities at any time and they get recharged at checkpoints. And you know, there's one that reveals hidden stuff. There's one that lets you boost up into the air, up to platforms. There's one that makes a bunch of you fly all over the place and hit baddies and stuff. And these abilities, they definitely make the experience easier if you know how to use them. So like, that's fun if you want that, but I like how they're also easy enough to kind of just disregard if you want more of a challenge. And actually, between the abilities and the different characters, you've got a lot of options. You can use Tails or Knuckles to reach high up places or alternate paths that you wanted to take, or you can use these powers to help you through the levels, or you can just ignore all that and stick with Sonic, and you have the classic, you know, more challenging, pure experience. So outside of the main campaign, you've got your standard time attack along with a battle mode. I didn't get to play the game multiplayer, co-op, anything like that, and I didn't get to take the battle mode online, but I did play the battle mode solo a good bit, and it's really fun. I feel like it's got a lot of potential. There are a bunch of different events, and you know, players just kind of compete to either grab the most stars or just fight each other or survive the longest, like lots of different little challenges. It seems like a really fun party game, and I'm sure it's also really fun to play online and climb the leaderboards and all that stuff. It's a really cool extra mode. And in this mode, you use your own little robot avatar character, and this is really cute. Earlier, I mentioned medals. You actually collect these throughout the campaign, and you use them to buy parts for your avatar. And like, of course, it's just fun to customize your little robot guy and make him look like Metal Sonic and all that. But I particularly appreciate how much work it takes to earn those medals. Like, the game does not just throw them at you for free, and it takes a lot of medals to actually buy stuff. You know, you gotta do really well in the bonus stages, particularly the checkpoint ones, and of course, you know, collect lots of rings during regular gameplay, all that stuff. Like, it really takes a lot of effort and skill in the game. And it really encourages me to do better and replay the levels over and over again. And, you know, it just feels really rewarding to buy stuff. And I'm sure Sonic aficionados who already planned on playing the game 100,000 times will really appreciate and enjoy the challenge. Oh, one last thing to say about the game. One thing I really love is the world map. It's got a world map. You can select any level at any time you want, you know, play as any character, go hunting for whatever you want, so that makes it real easy. Makes exploring the game just very convenient. Even better though, it's just cute. Look at this. It's just, I don't know. Something about this world map is really, really charming. Overall, I'm having a real good time with Sonic Superstars. It's got the classic Sonic style. It's got the fun, modern visuals. It's got the cool levels and bosses, lots of variety, you know, great quality of life features, loads of replayability. It's a great time. I'm really enjoying my time with it. It's basically everything I could want in a 2D Sonic game. Woof! Okay, so there you have it. Sonic Superstars is available now. Link in the description. It's an important link. It's a tracking link. It's a sponsorship thing. Whew. Now, if you'll excuse me, gotta go rest. I cannot do any more running today. I'm sorry. Oh, I just cannot. I'm done for today. I'm sorry.